morning. It's a glorious morning here in the Galapagos. Jack the Rattler back at you. Today we are in the Galapagos Highlands. The Highlands are the only part of the islands that have water. Out here is one of the twin craters. Now these are it's like a volcanic sinkhole. Actually, it's a big bubble that formed millions of years ago when the volcanoes were creating these islands. And at one point the bubble collapsed, and when it collapsed, it left this, a giant sinkhole. About 50 yards behind us is a twin sinkhole just like this. Now down in the valley, most of what you see down there are blueberries, an endemic species of blueberry only found here. Now behind us here, you see the trees. They have a lot of moss in them. Those trees are called Scalecia. Now the moss during the rainy season, it absorbs the water so that it continues to live. And when it's not raining, the moss will die. But the moss actually takes over the tree and it kills the tree. The tree falls down and seeds the next generation of trees. We're at about 1,800 feet here in Los Gomillos, the volcanic air bubble crater. I absolutely love this place, the Galapagos Islands. It's beautiful. Here is the other crater we were telling you about earlier. I think there's a whole lot of birds down there, and I'm going to wake them all up right now. Okay, this is a good example of an invasive species. Believe it or not, this is an orange tree, and probably hundreds of years ago, somebody ate an orange right here and spit the seed out, and it grew. And this is an invasive tree that is not good for this area. So the government usually chops them down so they don't continue to grow. It smells orange. This one you're not going to believe. This is like a fern, and it has a long, long leaf, and the seeds are on the bottom of it. But the length of the leaf, because the leaf is so long, the locals here, they call it the mother-in-law tongue. Another interesting fact here for you. On these trees, the moss only grows on one side, the east side, because the east side in the Galapagos is where you get the sun. If you look at the other side of the tree, there's very little moss on the other side of the tree because it gets no sun during the day. So unlike in Texas, the moss always seems to grow on the north side of the tree and not the south side. Here in the Galapagos, the moss grows on the east side. Fascinating. All right, here is another example of the natural selection of the Galapagos Islands. This plant here, it was introduced here. It's called the chantain. Now, anywhere else in the world, this plant has got a medicine quality that helps with stomach irritation. But here in the Galapagos, there is no medicinal qualities to this plant because of the volcanic soil. Natural selection. Okay. When you're here, you see some of the most beautiful furniture that you can imagine. And it's made from this tree here, an endemic tree called the Guayavilla. They're all over the islands, and this is what they use to make their furniture with.
There you go.
Okay, you remember back in the jungle I showed you the Sevilla tree that's used to make furniture here. This table is made out of one long tree, Sevilla. It's gorgeous. It's very smooth. They use it all through the Galapagos to make furniture. Look. We've seen the furniture all through the islands, and here is a good example of one long tree. Here's an example. Look at this. Here is a passion fruit. We're here celebrating our 34th wedding anniversary. I picked it for Marianne because I'm passionate. Jack the Rattler back at it.